Well, hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am going to share a story that is very raw, very real, very authentic as to why you have not seen me on Instagram or many social media platforms. I sit down and have a real conversation about the influencer world, how it may or may not affect your mental health, whether it's negative or positive. When I started this journey back in 2009, 2009, I have always been relatable. I have always been authentic. I have always showed the great, the bad, and the ugly, even when it was not the trend to do so. So I want to continue on that same path. Here is my story as to why I'm taking an Instagram break, when I might be back. I am sitting down and doing this video because I feel very, very compelled to share what I am deeming my ministry, my calling. I really fell away from it because I fell into the trap, and I will talk more about the trap soon. But I was watching Jaleesa Vaughn Jefferson's YouTube, and I'm gonna be really honest. When I saw that she became a DBA talent, if you didn't know, I was part of their inaugural mentorship program. I learned so much. I met so many people there. I love DBA like something serious. And I saw she became one of their talent, and I messaged my mentor, who I'm still close with, and I was like, oh, you guys signed Jaleesa? That's so cool. You know, I had heard of her. And she was like, yeah, we're so excited. She's so raw, she's so real, she's so authentic, she's so vulnerable. And I was like, really? She is? You know, and this was based off of a couple posts I had probably seen on Instagram, not even reading captions, probably not even going to her stories, and definitely not going to her YouTube. So in my head, I was thinking, she's not what I consider authentic, real, relatable, all that, you know. Like, here was this beautiful black woman with like perfect hair, and her daughter is like in the cutest little outfits, and her husband, like, they just looked like that ideal perfect family with the beautiful house that's always pristine, you know, like that whole narrative that I made in my own head about her. And it prompted me to go to her YouTube and start watching a couple of her YouTubes, and I was blown away, because she is so different than what I had made in my head. And that was one of the reasons why I also left Instagram for a while, is because I started making thoughts in my own head about my fellow influencers and what they were doing and why they were doing it, instead of just minding the business that pays me. I started letting that get in my head, and I don't want to be that petty girl. I don't want to think petty thoughts, and I sure as heck do not want to ever feel like I'm competing against, especially my fellow black women. That is not something that I ever want for myself. So I was like, you know what? I want to sit down and I want to talk to my audience. I told myself I was going to come to YouTube, and I was going to, you know, everyone says like you have to offer value, and you have to teach, and you have to have high quality, and you have to do this. And yes, you do, I would say 90% of the time, but sometimes it's good to just sit down and let people know you as a person, because there is so much more to us than pretty pictures on Instagram or dances on TikTok. Are human beings at the end of the day, with emotions, with families, with time crunches, with goals, with insecurities, like all of that. One of the biggest reasons that I needed to take a break was I felt a pressure to constantly create. With Instagram's algorithm of pushing out reels, and you need to do reels, and you should also do static images, and you want to keep people as long as possible on the platform. That's how you're going to grow. While I love video editing, I love it so incredibly much, it is time consuming. And while I want this so badly, y'all, like I want to be a full-time content creator, and not just a content creator, like I would love to be a creative director somewhere, but I recognize that without that growth, you know, you don't really make that money, and without that money you can't truly go full-time. So I put a pressure on myself to create, and I would scroll through Instagram, I would see someone doing something and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to do this, why am I not doing this? And then I would look, you know, at my computer that was open. I'm like, well, because, you know, you have back-to-back meetings at work, you have to do it. Or hey, your daughter would like to spend some time with you. Like, and it was just a pressure that I felt like I had to create 24/7, and I had to do all these reels, and I had to have catchy hooks, and I was constantly just berated with what I needed to do all the time in order to excel. And it was taking me away from who I am and what I want to provide all of you. And that is just a safe place to be your fully authentic self, a safe place to create because you have a passion for it, because you want to create and not because you have to do it. I was starting to feel like a machine, and I don't want to feel like a machine, y'all. I really don't want. I'm a human being, and I want to be a human being. Also, I found that I was spending way too much time on Instagram just scrolling, and as I was scrolling, I wasn't inspired. One, because a lot of the reels that were being shown to me just did nothing for me. Like, to see people in awesome outfits and not, you know, the same outfits that pretty much everyone, it seems as if everyone is wearing. Like, I want to see fashion as the art form and not fashion as the trend. There are girls who are fashion, and then there are girls or men, but there are girls who do fashion, if you know what I mean. And I want to see, I want to be inspired like I was when I first started Instagram 2011, and it was mostly photographers, and I was just like blown away by the beautiful art that they were producing from their camera and posting on this platform that was so important to me. And yes, Instagram has completely evolved into something different, and I love that too, because it's all about an evolution. But it's also, I miss the art of seeing others create in that way. Not saying that people are not creating now, but it's just a different type of creation that doesn't totally appeal to me. And it also felt so salesy, and it's hard because I want to be a full-time content creator, but I don't want to be a sales. No, it was 2014 when I spoke on my mental health issues. You know, I had suicidal ideations. I spent some time in a psych ward, and I think it was 3 days, and honestly it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me that I had. But I had, you know, so many people who messaged me that said, you know, thank you for speaking on this. Like, most people find, you know, shame in speaking on this, but you didn't. And I had a mother who wrote me, and she told me that her daughter had taken her own life, but that I was a part of her, the note that she left. And I was someone who, because I constantly shared my story, it made her feel like she could last longer. Eventually, you know, this is hard to talk about. Eventually she did commit suicide. But the fact that I even was important enough for her to leave in that letter, I take that with me, and I don't take that lightly. I really want to inspire. I want to be a voice for those who don't have a voice. I want to show a woman who is not hourglass, a woman with stretch marks, a woman with cellulite. I want to show a woman who isn't wearing solely luxury or wearing the trends, like someone whose house isn't always clean. I'm turning 40 in a couple of days, and I wanted to also sit and think about my life and where I want my life to go, what I want to do, what do I want my legacy to be, what do I want Tegan to say about me, her mother, when she is older and is talking more. Like, who do I want to be? And I had to take that time away because I couldn't allow all the external influences that I was seeing on Instagram like help direct me towards a path that wasn't me. And I really want to be a full-time creator. I know I can do this because I am talented. You can go to like the Yours Truly social media feed when I was doing their social media, and it was great. Like the videos I created for them, like I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Like I'm great at telling a story, but I stopped doing that because I was desperate to get my numbers, to hit my goals, to see the likes, and to go viral. That was my biggest thing. I wanted to go viral. And I never did. And I may not ever. But at the end of the day, I want longevity. I want brands to want to partner with me because my content is beautiful, because it tells a story, because it adds value, because it inspires you to either want to try their product or to tell someone about their product. I want to create something so beautiful, so wonderful that it hits you right here in your heart and you feel compelled to take an action. Whether it's purchase, whether it's tell someone about it, whether it's to like it. That's what I want to do, and that's what I want to get back to. And I don't feel as if I am quite there yet mentally to provide that. I don't want to go back and fall into the same trap that I put myself in, because I will never say I'm going to blame Instagram, or I'm going to blame other influencers, or I'm going to blame the content, because at the end of the day, it's me. I'm making that choice to allow it to affect me a certain way. So I want to put in the work so that I don't continue to do that. I would love, I mean, because you know I love a great birthday shoot. I mean, this one that I did last year was off the cuff, and I'm really proud of it, but I also don't want to rush anything. I do want to come back. I want to create. I wanted to do this video because of all the messages that I'm getting, and I wanted to let you all know why I'm taking a break and why I need this break and how I want to come back. And if I don't grow, if I'm unfollowed because I'm not using the trending sounds, or I'm not, you know, I mean, I love my transition videos, so that's going to stay because, you know, I can kill a transition video. But if I'm not, you know, doing 5 ways or the spring trend report or 5 ways to style this, I want to be okay with that. I want to be okay with that. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking. I appreciate you so much. My camera is telling me that the battery is going to die, so I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Please subscribe if you would like. And that is it. I had to rush this. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you, and have a great night.